Did you ever think that little piece of change jingling around in your cup holder or hiding in your junk drawer could be worth $1 million? I'm not talking about some dusty old doubloon from a pirate ship. I'm talking about a 2013 Great Basin $quarter coin. Yes, you heard that right, a quarter minted in 2013 with the Denver Mint mark could be worth up to $1 million if you've got the right one in the right condition. So grab your reading glasses, your magnifying glass, or just squint really hard. Because today, I'm going to share everything you need to know about this incredible coin, where it came from, why it's so valuable, what to look for, and how you might just strike it rich. I'm also going to tell you about the time I almost spent one of these quarters on a gas station burrito. True story, stick around till the end, because you'll walk away with the knowledge to spot one of these rare beauties and maybe pay off your mortgage. Let's get into it. First off, this quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters series. It commemorates Great Basin National Park in Nevada, a beautiful place with ancient bristlecone pine trees that have been alive since before your great-great-great-great-grandpappy ever thought about picking up a coin collection. These quarters were minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Denver Mint ones, marked with that little D, are the ones we're zeroing in on today. There were millions made, but only a handful have the rare traits collectors drool over. You might be thinking, how in the world can one of these quarters be worth $1 million when I can still get one in change? Well, that's where things get interesting. Let's talk about what makes a 2013 Great Basin quarter so valuable. The first thing that separates a junk drawer quarter from a life-changing jackpot is the grade. We're talking about coins in pristine, mint state condition, MS68 or higher. These are coins that have never been circulated. No scratches from vending machines, no dings from dropping them under the couch. A coin grading service like PCGS or NGC has to officially rate them. And if you've got an MS68 or MS69 specimen, congratulations, you're sitting on a gold mine disguised as a quarter. Next up, errors and varieties. These are unintentional quirks that happen during production: doubled dies, off-center strikes, or missing elements. Imagine you've got a quarter with a doubled image on the tree or the letters look shadowed. That could be a doubled die error worth tens of thousands. Some have partial collar strikes, where the edge has an odd, flattened look. Others have obverse die breaks, little cracks that form raised lines. Collectors love these oddities. When you combine a rare error with pristine condition, you get the $1 million magic. This is where the money really comes in. Even if there were tens of millions minted, only a tiny handful survived in flawless condition with a rare error. Those are what collectors fight over at auctions, driving prices into 6 and 7 figures. Now, let me tell you about that burrito incident. About 3 years ago, I was on a road trip through Nevada. Stopped at a gas station because I was about to pass out from hunger. I reached into my coin pouch to pay for a suspicious-looking microwave burrito. I handed the cashier a couple of quarters to make exact change. Just as I was about to leave, this older gentleman standing behind me tapped me on the shoulder. He squinted at my quarter and said, "Son, you might not want to spend that." I thought he was nuts, but I took the coin back and looked it up later that night. Sure enough, it was a 2013 Great Basin quarter in near-perfect condition. I had it graded. That thing turned out to be worth over $10,000. Always check your change before you trade it for questionable gas station cuisine. Let's talk numbers. Depending on condition and rarity, most circulated Great Basin quarters are only worth face value, 25 cents. But an uncirculated, error-laden, high-grade 2013 specimen has commanded staggering prices at major auctions. In fact, the current record sale price is around $1 million. That's the holy grail combination: MS69 grade, flawless luster, and a major die error that makes the coin one of a kind. At first, look for the D mint mark on the front, right of Washington's ponytail. Second, examine the reverse side carefully for doubled images on the tree or lettering. Third, look at the edges and surfaces for any unusual marks or breaks. Finally, if your quarter looks unusually sharp and perfect, send it to be graded by a reputable service. The grading fees are worth it if you're sitting on a life-changing jackpot. Never clean it. I know you might be tempted to shine it up with some dish soap or toothpaste. Don't do it. You'll destroy the value faster than I destroyed that gas station burrito. Store it in a protective coin holder or flip. Avoid touching it with your bare hands. Oils from your skin can tarnish the surface. So there you have it. The humble 2013 Great Basin quarter, an unassuming little coin with the potential to be worth $1 million. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who likes to check the couch cushions for hidden treasure, this is one quarter you don't want to overlook. Remember, the odds of finding $1 million example are small, but not zero. Somebody has to own these coins, and it might as well be you. Next time you get change, take an extra moment to look closely. That little glimmer of silver could be the key to early retirement, a beach house, or at least a better burrito. But if you enjoyed this video and want more stories, tips, and strategies on how to find rare coins worth big money, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you never miss out. I've got a whole lot more coming your way, everything from Lincoln cents to Morgan dollars, all with the potential to put serious cash in your pocket. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine for a second you're rifling through that old jar of quarters on your dresser, maybe looking for laundry money or spare change for your morning coffee. But what if I told you that tucked in there, you might just have a single quarter that could make you a millionaire overnight? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about the 2017 Ozark Riverways $2 coin, a little piece of metal that's got a jaw-dropping current market value of $1.1 million. That's right, one coin, $1 million. Now, before you flip over your couch cushions in a mad dash for loose change, let's settle in and talk about what makes this coin so valuable, how you can spot one, and why you might want to call your banker before you spend it on a bag of chips. So grab your favorite drink, kick back, and let's dive into the fascinating world of the Ozark quarter, where history, rarity, and a dash of good luck collide to create something worth more than most people's cars, heck, more than most people's houses. Alright, let's start with a little background. The 2017 Ozark Riverways quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This series started in 2010, and each design celebrates a national park or site. The Ozark quarter honors the Ozark National Scenic Riverways in Missouri, a stunning place famous for clear rivers, caves, and a lot of camping memories, some of them great, some of them involving mosquito bites the size of golf balls. And now, the Mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia. Millions were minted, so why on earth is one worth over $1 million? First up, this specific high-value Ozark quarter isn't just your average run-of-the-mill coin. The $1 million specimens are what collectors call error coins, which means something went haywire at the mint. Think of it like a bakery accidentally baking a cake upside down. These errors could be misstrikes, double dies, or off-center impressions. One famous error in the Ozark quarter series involved a dramatic double die on the obverse, which is coin speak for the front, where Washington's face is. Under magnification, the letters and date look like they're shadowed or doubled. A top-grade specimen with this error, in pristine uncirculated condition, fetched that staggering price tag at auction. So when you're going through your change, you're not just looking for the date. You're also hunting for that misprint. Let me share a little story to show you how easy it is to overlook something valuable. A couple years back, I was helping my uncle clean out his old pickup truck. This thing was so ancient it looked like it had been to the moon and back. We found coins everywhere, under the seats, wedged into the cup holders, one in the air vent. I was tossing them into a coffee can without thinking. Fast forward a few months, I read about the Ozark quarter selling for over $1 million. My heart stopped. I called my uncle and said, "Please tell me you didn't spend that can of coins on gas." It's like hearing someone used a Picasso to wrap a sandwich. First, flip the coin over. Look for the 2017 date in the Mint marker. Second, grab a magnifying glass, ideally a jeweler's loupe with at least 10x magnification. Look carefully at the lettering on the obverse. If you see any doubling, especially in the word liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," or the date, you could be holding a prize. Third, inspect the edge and the alignment. Some error coins have an off-center strike, where the image is shifted or cut off. And finally, check the coin's condition. Grading matters. A coin in mint, uncirculated condition, what collectors call MS65 or higher, will fetch the highest price. If you think you found something unusual, do not clean it. I repeat, do not clean it. Coin collectors are picky. If you so much as wipe it with a tissue, you could slash thousands off its value. Instead, put it in a soft holder and contact a reputable coin dealer or grading service. You might be thinking, this sounds like a lot of work just to look at a quarter. But trust me, if you knew there was a 1 in a million chance of making over $1 million, wouldn't you spend a Saturday afternoon inspecting your spare change? Let's take a moment to geek out about some of the most expensive sales. One Ozark quarter with an extreme double die sold at auction for just over $1.1 million. That sale caused a frenzy. People all over the country started digging into their drawers and jars. Another slightly less dramatic error coin went for around $80,000, which is still nothing to sneeze at. Even regular uncirculated Ozark quarters without an error can bring in a nice premium. Some examples sell for $50 to $200 if they're in perfect condition. When you add in the thrill of the hunt, it's easy to see why so many folks get hooked on coin collecting. If you find one of these and decide to sell it, be prepared for a little attention. News outlets love these stories, and you might find yourself being called the millionaire quarter guy by your neighbors. 2017 date P mint mark double die errors, especially on the front lettering perfect condition, no scratches or dings. And remember, don't spend it without getting it authenticated. Let's switch gears for a second and talk about what you could do with the money. Imagine finding that Ozark quarter and selling it for over $1 million. You could pay off your mortgage, buy a vacation home, or finally splurge on that classic car you've always dreamed of. If you've made it this far, you're now armed with all the knowledge you need to spot a 2017 Ozark Riverways quarter that could change your life. We've covered the history, the errors to look for, the value, and a couple stories that prove this is no urban legend. It's real money hiding in plain sight. So, before you dump out that jar of coins into a Coinstar machine, take a few minutes to look closer. The next millionaire might just be you. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on rare coins worth serious money, strategies for spotting hidden treasures, and maybe a few more stories about my uncle's questionable financial decisions, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss the next episode, where we'll dig into another coin that could turn spare change into a windfall. Thanks for watching, and happy treasure hunting. Now go check your quarters, and remember, wealth sometimes hides in the simplest places. Hey folks, have you ever dug around in your couch cushions or that old coin jar on your dresser and thought, nah, this is all just pocket change? Well, today, you might want to rethink that. Because buried in all those dusty quarters could be a little round jackpot, and I'm talking about the 1989 Washington quarter that's been making headlines for fetching a mind-blowing $1.2 million. $1.2 million. For a coin you could have used to buy a stale gas station hot dog back in 1989. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly why this unassuming quarter is worth more than most people's houses, what makes it special, how to tell if you have one, and I'll even share a little personal story about how I nearly spent a rare quarter on a vending machine candy bar. So grab yourself a snack, settle in, and let's talk about how your spare change might just change your life. Alright, so let's get something straight. Not every 1989 quarter is worth millions. If that were the case, we'd all be living on private islands right now. The $1 million specimens are typically in near-perfect condition. That's what collectors call mint state. Basically, it looks like it just rolled off the press. Some of these quarters have unusual die errors, like double strikes, off-center impressions, or extremely rare planchet issues that skyrocket their value. Imagine a normal quarter is like a run-of-the-mill cookie. A rare error quarter is the cookie that accidentally came out shaped like Elvis's profile. Suddenly, everyone wants it. The fewer in existence, the higher the demand. Collectors go nuts over certain dates, especially with rare errors. Grading services like PCGS or NGC give coins a score up to 70. The closer to 70, the higher the price. Some coins get hyped because they represent a milestone year or a famous die variety. Back in 2023, one of these 1989 Washington quarters sold at auction for $1.2 million because it was nearly flawless and had an exceptional strike error that made it a true one-of-a-kind. George Washington's familiar profile. Look right under the neck for that P mint mark. But here's the kicker, unless you really know your coins, you probably can't spot the valuable varieties just by eye. That's why grading and professional authentication are critical. Alright, time for my confession. A few years back, I had this habit of paying for everything in quarters. My pockets were basically portable piggy banks. One day, I was in the break room, half asleep, and all I wanted was a Snickers bar. I jammed a bunch of quarters into the machine, hit the button, and out popped the candy. Later, I went through my coin jar at home and realized I'd been hanging onto some pretty unusual quarters, including, you guessed it, a 1989 P with a weird doubling on the date. I'll never know if that was the $1 million coin or not, but let me tell you, I still have regrets about that Snickers. So if you've got a 1989 P quarter, don't be like me, check it carefully before you spend it on a sugar rush. Don't clean it. Seriously. Wiping it with a rag can destroy value. Handle it carefully, preferably with gloves. Take clear photos front and back, submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Step 5. Wait for professional confirmation before you start planning your yacht purchase. Though the waiting feels like an eternity. But better safe than sorry. A genuine quarter weighs 5.67 grams. Counterfeits often have weird lettering. Some people try to stamp a P onto a regular coin. If it looks like it's been spray painted silver, run, because a single 25-cent coin could change your life. Imagine paying off your mortgage, starting a business, or taking a dream trip all because you checked your change, and let's be real, it's just plain fun. Treasure hunting isn't just for kids or pirates, it's for anyone willing to take a closer look at what's in their pocket. Only a tiny fraction have the rare errors collectors crave. Some collectors believe certain rolls from Federal Reserve shipments had higher quality strikes. 1970s proof quarter struck on a Canadian planchet. 2004 Wisconsin State quarter with an extra leaf. 1965 silver transitional error quarters. Your change might be a goldmine hiding in plain sight. Coin collecting sounds nerdy to some folks, but it's also one of the most profitable hobbies you can have. It's like combining history class with treasure hunting and a dash of Wall Street. Plus, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. The 1989 P. Washington quarter can be worth up to $1.20 million. Its value depends on rarity, grade, and special mint errors. Always verify before selling. Never clean your coin, and please, don't feed a priceless quarter to a vending machine. Not if you enjoyed this video and you're excited to learn more about the coins sitting in your pockets, or if you just want to avoid making the same vending machine mistake I did, be sure to subscribe to this channel. We'll keep bringing you tips on coins worth real money, strategies to build your collection, and stories to make you laugh and maybe even inspire you to start your own treasure hunt. Hit that subscribe button, tap the bell so you don't miss any future videos, and if you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend. Who knows, maybe they've got $1 million coin hiding in their couch cushions too. Where we uncover the secrets hiding in your pocket change. Today, I've got a story that might just blow your socks clear off your feet. Imagine this: you're standing in line at the grocery store, you pull out a handful of quarters, and one of them could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yep, you heard that right. One little South Carolina quarter from the year 2000 with a humble D-mint mark could pay off your mortgage, fund your early retirement, and still leave you enough to buy a lifetime supply of barbecue chips. In this video, we're going to dive deep into how this seemingly ordinary coin became such a superstar, what makes it valuable, how you can tell if you have one, and why collectors are willing to fork over more cash than you'd spend on a luxury car just to own it. Stick around, because I'll also share my own experience of almost spending a rare coin on a gas station hot dog. True story. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's talk money. Coin money. Back in the year 2000, the US Mint was cranking out the 50 state quarters series. If you remember, these were released over several years to celebrate each state in the Union. South Carolina's design features the outline of the state, a palmetto tree, the Carolina wren, and the yellow jessamine flower. You've probably seen this quarter countless times rattling around in your change jar or getting jammed in a vending machine. That means it was struck at the Denver Mint. Denver produced hundreds of millions of these quarters, so you might be thinking, what makes one of them worth over $1 million? It's like finding a winning lottery ticket in a pile of receipts. The magic happens in the details, namely, a very rare combination of errors and condition. First, it's what collectors call a mule error. That's when a coin is struck with mismatched dies. In some extremely rare cases, the obverse, the front with Washington's head, was paired with the reverse die of a different coin altogether. If you have one of these mule errors, congratulations, your life just changed. Second, even among non-error coins, if yours is in pristine uncirculated condition, known as mint state 68 or above, that's rarer than a polite honk in rush hour traffic. Most coins show scratches, dings, and smudges. A flawless example is like finding a 25-year-old avocado that's still perfectly ripe. Third, there are rumors and documented cases of a few coins struck on experimental planchets, basically, test metal blanks meant for different denominations. These coins weigh differently and have a distinctive ring when dropped. Combine all that, and you've got yourself a quarter that can fetch $1.3 million at auction. Here's where your detective skills come in. You'll need a few things: a magnifying glass, a scale, good lighting, and a steady hand. First, look for the D-mint mark. It should be just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Second, examine the edge of the coin. Look for any unusual ridges or seams that suggest a die clash or improper planchet. Third, check the weight. A standard quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. If your coin is significantly lighter or heavier, that's a red flag, possibly an experimental planchet. Fourth, scrutinize the design details. Are there doubled letters? Is the image off-center? Anything out of the ordinary can mean extra value. And finally, if you suspect you've got the golden ticket, do not clean it. Cleaning coins is like cutting your own bangs at midnight after 2 glasses of wine. Just don't. Leave it alone and get it professionally graded. Some folks think paying over $1 million for a quarter is downright bananas. But collectors see it as history, rarity, and status all rolled into one shiny disc. Imagine telling your friends, "Yeah, I own the rarest South Carolina quarter." They'd look at you like you just told them you ride a unicorn. To work for serious collectors and investors, these coins are trophies, irreplaceable artifacts that grow in value over time. Let me tell you about the time I almost blew it big time. A couple years ago, I was road tripping across the country. My car was running on fumes, so I pulled into this tiny gas station in the middle of nowhere. I grabbed a questionable hot dog and a soda, and when I went to pay, I scooped up some quarters from the console without thinking. I was sorting through leftover change when I spotted a 1999 Georgia quarter with a weird doubling on the design. Turns out, it was a valuable error coin worth about $8,000. I had almost handed it to the cashier for a mystery meat hot dog. That taught me 2 things: always check your change, and never eat a hot dog that's been spinning under a heat lamp since the Clinton administration. If you're hoping to strike gold with your own South Carolina quarter, here's what to do: check old coin jars, piggy banks, and rolls of quarters from the bank. Look through your collections, and ask your friends and family if they have spare change lying around. You'd be surprised what people throw in a drawer and forget about. Use a jeweler's loupe to spot tiny details, weigh any odd-feeling coins, and compare them with pictures online of confirmed errors. When in doubt, send your coin to a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it, grade its condition, and help you understand its true market value. Absolutely. In the past decade, multiple rare state quarters with error combinations have sold for 6 and 7 figures at major auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stacksbowers. In 2024 alone, a similar South Carolina mule error in nearly flawless mint state sold for just under $1.3 million. Demand for error coins has exploded as more collectors jump into the hobby and see coins as a smart hedge against inflation. And if you find the right coin, you're sitting on life-changing money. So, there you have it. One humble South Carolina quarter with a D mint mark could transform your finances overnight. All it takes is a sharp eye, a little patience, and maybe a dash of luck before you race off to dig through every coin jar you can find. Do me a favor: if you enjoyed this video, smash that subscribe button like it owes you money. I've got plenty more tips and stories coming your way on how to find rare coins worth real dollars. Share this video with a friend who still thinks coins are just for parking meters, and let's keep spreading the word. You never know who might be holding the next $1 million piece of metal. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Go check your quarters, and remember, next time you're tempted to spend your change on a gas station snack, take a second look. You might just be holding a little piece of American treasure. Hey there, coin hunters and curious minds. Have you ever spent a quarter without thinking twice, maybe tossing it into a vending machine for a stale pack of peanut butter crackers? Well, what if I told you that the quarter you just spent could have paid off your mortgage, bought you a fancy sports car, or let you retire on a sunny beach in Florida? Today, I'm going to tell you all about the 1983 P Washington quarter. Yes, the one with that tiny little P mint mark that's turning ordinary people into millionaires. I'm serious. One of these shiny little coins has been valued as high as $1.40 million. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for so you don't accidentally spend a fortune at the laundromat. And I'll share a funny story about the time I almost threw away a small fortune without realizing it. So grab your coin jar, get comfy, and let's dive into this treasure hunt. Alright, let's kick things off by talking about the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter started circulating back in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. The design has changed here and there, but the classic image of Washington's profile is still there, staring off into the distance like he's waiting for his Uber. Now, in 1983, the Philadelphia Mint produced a massive batch of these quarters. We're talking hundreds of millions. So you're probably thinking, how the heck can a coin so common be worth $1.40 million? First, not all 1983 P quarters are created equal. You can't just grab any old 1983 quarter and expect to cash in. If your quarter has been riding around in your glove compartment for 40 years with a melted gummy bear stuck to it, sorry, it's probably not the $1 million kind. The valuable ones are in pristine condition. They look like they just popped out of the mint yesterday. Collectors want to see every detail: Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers on the reverse, the fine lines. A weak strike or wear can knock thousands off the value. 1983 was one of those weird years the US Mint didn't release official mint sets. That means uncirculated coins were harder to get, and high-grade examples are super rare today. This is where things get spicy. Some of these quarters have dramatic die breaks, double dies, and off-center strikes. These errors are like the sprinkles on your ice cream, they make everything better and more valuable. As of right now, a pristine 1983 Washington quarter with those rare characteristics can fetch up to $1.4 million at auction. That's not an urban legend. That's cold hard cash. Folks, buy a Lamborghini and still have money for gas pay for 4 years at an Ivy League college, or buy 5.6 million packs of gum from the checkout aisle. You need 1983 on the obverse side and a little P on the right side of Washington's ponytail. No mint mark means you have a different version. Use a magnifying glass. If the coin has no scratches, nicks, or wear, you might be onto something. Now, let me tell you a story about the time I almost lost a small fortune. A few years ago, I was cleaning out an old jar of coins. You know, the kind, dusty, half filled with Canadian pennies and tokens from arcades that don't exist anymore. I grabbed a handful of quarters and almost dumped them in a Coinstar machine. But for some reason, probably because I'm cheap, I decided to sort them first, and there it was, a 1983 quarter that looked brand new. My heart did that little jump, like when you see your ex's name pop up on your phone. I held it up to the light, imagining I was about to be rich. Well, it turned out mine didn't have any fancy errors, so it was worth about 25 cents, maybe 30 on a good day. But that experience taught me something important. You never know what's hiding in your change. So here's the bottom line. That quarter jingling in your pocket might be worth more than your car. Or your house. Or both combined. Before you spend any 1983 Washington quarters, take a closer look. You could be sitting on $1 million payday and not even know it. Doubling, off-centering, die cracks, and if you don't find one today, don't get discouraged. Hunting for rare coins is a lot like fishing. Sometimes you come up empty, but sometimes you reel in the catch of a lifetime. Hey there, treasure hunters and pocket change pros. Have you ever had that moment, you're digging for laundry quarters and suddenly think, man, what if one of these coins is actually worth more than my car? Well, let me tell you, that ain't just a pipe dream. Today, we're talking about a tiny, ordinary-looking coin that might just be your ticket to a new house, a boat, or heck, even early retirement. I'm talking about the 2017 Ellis Island quarter, a coin most folks would use for a parking meter or shove in a vending machine. But what if I told you this little coin is worth up to $1.50 million? Yes, you heard me right. 1.5 million American dollars. That's not pocket change, that's buy your dream truck, a cabin in the mountains, and still have cash left to tip your barber. Big money. So stick with me, because in the next 40 minutes, we're diving deep into how this coin became a millionaire's treasure, what makes it so valuable, how to know if you have one, and a few funny tales along the way. And trust me, you don't want to miss the part where I almost spent one of these coins on a gas station hot dog. Yeah, that happened. Alright, before we go full Indiana Jones here, let's talk about where this coin came from. The 2017 Ellis Island quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, launched by the U.S. Mint in 2010. The program honored 56 national parks and historic sites across the U.S., Ellis Island being one of them. This specific quarter was minted in Philadelphia, hence the P Mint mark. It shows an immigrant family standing with a view of Ellis Island in the background. Beautiful design, rich history. But here's the thing, millions were minted. So why is one of these worth $1.5 million? That's like finding out your old beater Honda is actually a limited edition Bugatti. It's not just any Ellis Island quarter. This one's got something special going on. So here's the juicy part. There's one particular 2017 Ellis Island quarter that made waves in the numismatic world. Because it had a rare minting error, the kind of mistake that turns a regular coin into a collector's dream. We're talking about a double die obverse and a misaligned rim, paired with a near-perfect uncirculated condition, graded MS68 by a third-party grader. That's like coinspeak for flawless and fabulous. And this exact coin sold for an astonishing $1.5 million at a private auction. Why so much? Because rare errors in pristine condition are the holy grail of coin collecting. Add in the historical theme and modern mint date, it's a perfect storm. Now here's the kicker. Most people who come across these coins wouldn't notice. They'd think it's just another quarter. Some even spend them, like I almost did. So a few years ago, I was road tripping across New Jersey, blasting Springsteen, living off beef jerky and bad decisions. I stop at this old school gas station, craving a hot dog for some reason I still can't explain. Anyway, I reach into my car's cup holder for some quarters and I notice this super shiny 2017 Ellis Island one. Something about it felt different, like it winked at me. I'm halfway to the counter when I remember a buddy of mine, huge coin nerd, telling me to always check the mint mark and edges. So I stall, pretending to tie my shoe in front of the beef jerky rack, and give the coin a closer look. Boom. P mint mark. Strong details. Something off about the rim. I stuffed that quarter back in my pocket so fast, the guy behind me thought I was trying to steal peanuts. Sent it to be graded. Didn't end up being the $1 million version, but it came back at a few $100. This stuff's real. That $1.5 million coin? Could have just as easily ended up in that gas station's register, buying a microwave chili dog. Now, how do you know if you're holding one of these valuable bad boys? Let me break it down. Make sure it's a 2017 P. Ellis Island. If it looks like it just left the mint, with sharp edges, clean detail, and zero scratches, that's a good sign. Look at the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If the letters look doubled, you're in luck. Misaligned rim or off-center strike. If the border isn't even or part of the design looks shifted, that's a major bonus to grading. If it seems rare, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. Anything MS67 or higher with those errors is hot property. And hey, if you don't know how to grade coins or spot errors, no shame in that. That's what magnifying glasses and YouTube channels like this one are for. Alright, let's say you're digging through your junk drawer and boom, you find a shiny Ellis Island quarter that fits the bill. What now? Don't spend it. Seriously. Tape a note on it if you have to. Do not use this coin to buy snacks. Take clear, well-lit photos of both sides. Use a macro setting if you can. Post them in coin forums or consult a local coin shop. Get it graded by a pro. You'll have to mail it in, pay a small fee, but trust me, if it's the real deal, that grading could multiply its value tenfold. Whether you sell it at auction or to a collector, congratulations, you're now holding enough money to retire early or at least take a cruise with bottomless shrimp. You never know what kind of treasure is hiding in your pocket change. That 2017 P. Ellis Island quarter could be worth 25 cents, or $1.5 million. Don't overlook the small stuff. Especially when it comes with a mint mark and $1 million twist. So here's what I want you to do right now. Go grab your coin jar, your wallet, your glove compartment. Check every 2017 quarter you've got. Look for that P. Look for anything weird, off-center, or extra shiny, and if you find something special, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Heck, you might even make it into my next video. If you learned something today, hit that subscribe button like you just found a winning lottery ticket. Smash that like button like it owes you lunch money. And ring the bell so you never miss another tip on coins worth cash. We've got more episodes coming on rare pennies, $1 million nickels, and coins you've probably got in your couch cushions right now, because your next big payday? It might be jingling in your pocket.